This is a 5-minute workshop. Sustainable tips for inclusive teaching in any course modality. We often don't know who our students are until they walk into our classroom on the first day. So today I'm going to briefly introduce a way you can get to know your students ahead of time, allowing you to know more about your class before it begins. A PreCourse survey, which is also known as a getting to know you survey or a who's in class survey, is pretty easy to implement and can be used in any course modality. You can administer the survey a few days before your course opens and within the first week of the semester. So why use a PreCourse survey? This tool has two main benefits. By sending a cue to students that you're interested in getting to know them, it humanizes you and your course. This makes you more approachable and gives students a chance to share any concerns they have at the outset. Second, it provides you, the instructor, with relevant student background information that gives insight into student motivation and behavior. This may inform how you move forward in your course. So what is it exactly? This survey can be administered before the course starts and remain open for students to complete it within the first week of class. It can be anonymous or not, and I'll share resources for approaching the survey in both of these ways. It is basically a brief list of questions that touches on the personal, such as what a student's preferred first name is, or how they'd like to be called, and what their preferred pronouns are if they'd like to share. It also asks about interests and motivations for taking the course, as well as any barriers or challenges the students are concerned about impeding their ability to be successful in the course. So how can you do it? The first step is you're going to choose the survey tool. There are a few different options, and you can, use the tool that you prefer. So one option is to use the quiz tool in Canvas, which you can use by using the survey setting. But you can also bring external tools into Canvas, such as using Google Forms, or maybe you're accustomed to using other survey tools that are more sophisticated, like Qualtrics or SurveyMonkey. So your choice will depend on which tool you're most comfortable with using. One great example of a PreCourse survey is by Michelle Pakensky-Brock, and I'm on her webpage right here, which is pakensky.com/humanizing/student info. So she has, if you go to this webpage, you can see some information on creating the PreCourse survey, but also she actually shares her sample of one. So here's a good example. And again, if you follow the links to the anonymous survey, that is another example of where you can find some good questions. All right, so now you have your questions. What are the best practices for implementing the survey? So the first thing you're going to do is when you give the survey to students, you're going to let them know why you're taking the survey, right? So this can be a warm message inviting students to share information with you because you're interested in getting to know them more before you get started with the course. You also want to let them know what you're going to do with the information. And also, if you decide to do the survey as anonymous or not anonymous, you want to let them know how their information will be anonymous or not, and how the information that they share will be kept confidential. Once you have the information or the responses from the survey, you want to keep track of it or have it on hand throughout the semester so you can refer to it as you work through the course. There's a variety of ways to do this, but one option that you all have is by, in Canvas, adding a notes column in the Canvas gradebook. What this does is it basically allows you to put relevant information directly next to the student's name. So it's just always there whenever you're in the gradebook. Only the instructor can see the information in the notes column. So now you're set to go, and I'm curious, how might you use a PreCourse survey in your class? If you have any other questions, or if there are workshops that you are interested in seeing in this format, please email us at teachinglearning@sas.rutgers.edu.